Our next issue of concern is alternative uses of poultry litter and livestock manure, and I'm going to pass this one over to Colby to give you all some background.
For several years now, Maryland Farm Bureau has constantly pushed for particularly poultry litter to be used as an organic fertilizer. Same way with livestock manure, dairy, horse manure, that it be used as land application. But what we're finding is, particularly on the lower shore, where you start to get advocates that say we have too much litter over there, should we need to figure out a way to move it to other locations, then there starts to be this push for, should we use it for alternative sources such as renewable energy generation, or should we use it for other sources other than just land application? The challenge that we've seen is that the farmers on the lower shore have heavily used it for years, and unfortunately under the phosphorus management tool is starting to make it where it's very difficult to continue to use it without their phosphorus levels getting too high. And so the challenge is trying to get it trucked to locations that can use it. The cost goes up, which then in turn makes these alternative uses be more valuable. So it is a challenge to try to figure out a way. Should we support any alternative uses? Our policy, I think you're going to kind of look through there and kind of give some discussion on it. Doesn't necessarily get to we are that way. So can you kind of give us a little bit on current policy?
Well, our current policy, we have policy in several sections that really speak to this issue of concern. Obviously, if you comb through our policy, the number one use we support a land application for poultry and livestock manure. However, we also have policy that speaks to using it for alternative uses. But I think, when we look at this issue, it's not necessarily a bill-specific issue, and that's why these questions that you're asking for our counties to look at are so important, is because we don't necessarily know what language to expect or kind of how we're approaching the issue, and so we're more thinking about it from a regulatory framework, and so what can we live with or what can we not live with as far as, as it pertains to this alternative use of poultry litter and livestock manure.
And one thing I really worry about is that if we take such a hard stance that we want it to only be used for land application, then you start to see regulations that are being proposed that would actually rail it off the lower shore, maybe to other states, whether it be Ohio or Indiana or other places where they can use this litter, where they don't have the phosphorus issues that we have. And then we're going to have farmers that won't even have the access to it because they're not going to take a handful of tons. They're going to want to take a large number to make those rail spots work profitable and make it beneficial to move. And so do we think about alternative uses, which if it's generating electricity still produces an end product that still needs to be land applied? It just won't have the phosphorus levels that it had before, but it's still going to be used locally. So I think when we think about alternative uses, we have to be careful that it's not just a throwaway, that it's still going to have products or byproducts to apply, but maybe not at the level and the volume with maybe the level of phosphorus that it had before. So that's what our counties need to review. We need to look at that and say, do we just keep a hard stance that we want to keep it as land application, or should we be more flexible looking at these alternative sources? Because we could get what we asked for and actually see it railed away for land application somewhere else.
And so if you have any further questions on this topic, please don't hesitate to contact Colby or myself.